Hello everyone. Earlier today I made a quick video about cleaning the connection of the wheel speed sensor, which is located right here. And now I would like to make another relatively short video on cleaning the actual sensor itself, removing it from the hub, inspecting it, cleaning it, and then placing it back in. Now, since my electrical connection is already clean, I would like to protect that. So I'm going to use a, let's call it a special tool to achieve that. That's basically a food grade plastic wrap. And let me cut a piece of that and I'll show you how I intend to use it. Alright, I have a piece of wrap here. It is completely clean. So I would go ahead and disconnect the electrical connection, and as I pull this out, I would wrap it like so, and I'll just leave it to the side. Either way, I mean, whatever this touches now, it is protected. It won't get dusty, it won't pick up any dirt, and so on. And now this leaves me with the sensor, which is held by one bolt. Now, the bolt is 8mm, and that's interesting, it's kind of tight. There's a lot of resistance as it's coming out, which is a bit concerning. Okay, it's getting easier now. There it is. Okay, we'll inspect the bolt, we'll inspect the threads as well. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's got anti-seize on it. Sorry, not anti-seize, it's got a thread lock, a blue thread lock on it. That's why it's hard to come out. This actually makes sense because there's a lot of heat here being generated from the disc. So the chance of this bolt being loose or coming loose is higher. I guess that's why they put the thread lock. I do have thread lock, so I'll have to reapply thread lock before I put this back in. But something to look out for if you're doing this. Make sure you have thread lock ready as you reassemble. Okay, let's put this to the side. At this point, the sensor itself should be able to come out. I'll gently pull it out. Yeah, there it is. All right, it looks dirty. This is the important part. This is what reads the signal. Actually, that part in itself does not look bad. But here it is. That's the wheel speed sensor. And if we, let me move the camera a bit. I'll put the sensor to the side. I'll move the camera. If you look inside the hole, you would actually be able to see, I'll start the flash here. See those grooves? This is what the sensor reads. As these grooves move, when the wheel turns, these grooves move, and they're like ridges. So the sensor reads high, low, high, low, high, low, and it sends this oscillating sort of signal to the computer, and the computer knows how fast the wheel is moving, or if it's moving at all. And that's how it calculates everything it needs about applying the anti-brake system, the stability control, and so on. Alright, so let's clean the sensor, let's clean the bolt, reapply thread lock, and I'll be right back. In addition to cleaning the sensor itself, I would also want to clean this mating surface here before I reinstall the sensor. Now I would approach that with this brass brush and an old vacuum cleaner, and as I'm brushing I would be vacuuming up any debris that comes off of here so that it doesn't fall inwards. I'll do that for a few seconds on camera. Keep in mind the vacuum cleaner will probably be loud. I'm just going to go turn it on now. Alright, I'll do some more cleaning, but you get the idea. I mean, it's already looking much better, much cleaner. I will get it to a better state than this, but no need to waste your time with that. Just wanted to point out that I would be cleaning this surface as well, not only the sensor. Alright, we're making progress with the cleaning. The surface is now in a good shape. It's not identical to brand new, but it's completely smooth and ready to accept the sensor back in. I've also cleaned inside the circle here, all the walls, so that there's no debris there. The sensor itself is clean as well, and it's ready. It was actually dirtier than I thought. If you remember, these three metal plates were not visible at all when we took it out. It was completely black here. So I've exposed them now. This is as much as I can clean it. The sensor is ready. The last remaining thing to clean is the bolt that holds it. Now here's the bolt. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. With the thread lock, notice how rusty the top is. And let me share with you how I approach bolts like this in order to restore them and get rid of the rust. So I have found that this product is very good. Crud cutter, the must for rust. I pour it in a sort of a spray bottle, and then get a Ziploc bag, clean Ziploc bag, toss the bolt in there. There it is. Just toss it in, and as it's sitting there in the corner with your spray bottle, spray a few times from the product. You can now see that the bolt is kind of swimming in this liquid. Close the Ziploc bag, seal it so that no air gets inside and this won't dry out. Once it is sealed and the bolt is inside, you can go to bed and not worry about a thing. Come up in the morning. I mean, you can already see how the product is starting to work and strip things down, but I'm going to leave it overnight, and tomorrow we'll take a look at the results. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised of what we find here in the bag. Alright, pausing the video for now. And just like that, it's now the morning after. Let's take a look at what we have in the bag. Now, last night I figured, well, the bolt holding the speed sensor on the other side of the car, on the left side, is probably in a very similar condition. So I took that off as well, and I added it to the bag, and I added a little bit more liquid as well. So we now have two bolts in here. Lighting is not great, but yeah, we have two bolts in here, and you can see those little dark spots. This is all rust that has fallen off the bolts as they were sort of bathing in this liquid. Now the liquid is actually relatively safe. It's not dangerous if you touch it with your skin. I mean, that you definitely don't want to swallow it or anything like that, but skin contact is fine. Probably you don't want to soak your hands in it, but it's not one of these acids where you have to absolutely make sure that it doesn't touch your skin. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we're going to take the bolts out now and see what we've got. And what I would do here is I would just pour out the liquid. There are the bolts also. There is some debris left inside the bag, and a lot of debris came out as well. But if you take a look at the bolts themselves, I mean, look at this. Not a sign of rust anywhere. Let me wipe them down. The other benefit of this liquid, it's some sort of acid, but I don't recall the exact proper terminology for it. But it leaves a very thin film on top, and it protects the metal for about a year from rusting again. And given that I don't drive this car in the rain, I don't expect any further problems with rust onto these bolts in the future. Here they are. I mean, look at that. Almost as good as new. I'll remove the little thread locker that is still left, clean them up, and then we'll be ready to reassemble. All right. The reassembly. Before we start, there is one more thing that we want to pay attention to. Take a look inside here where this metal wheel is, which has along its circumference, it has these ridges and grooves, ups and downs. They almost look like teeth. You want that surface to be clean. You don't want to see any mud, grease, or any other debris in there. If that surface is dirty, it may affect the reading of the sensor. The sensor would not pick up the reading accurately, and then the computer can get confused, throw some codes, and so on. So make sure that surface inside is clean, and you can easily inspect it by simply turning the wheel. See that? As you turn your wheel, you can go all the way around and just make sure that this is clean on the inside. Once you're happy with that, your surface here is clean, you can go ahead and put your sensor back. But actually, before that, you may want to, here's the bolt. I mean, again, just look at how clean this is. This is perfect. When this bolt goes in, this is how much of the bolt sticks out. This is where you need to apply the thread lock. You don't need the thread lock along the entire length of the bolt, because part of it never goes in, right? So it's just this part. This is where the thread lock needs to be. So just a quick note there. There's the sensor. Let's place it in. It turns a little bit, so you want to center it on the hole, and this looks good. Okay. Now it's time to apply the thread lock. I'll put a bit of a paper here in case we have some drips. Here's the bottle. It's blue, Loctite. See how it says removable? That's what you want, because theoretically at some point this bolt will have to be taken out again if we ever need to replace the sensor. So you want a removable thread locker. This is the blue color, which is actually identical to what was in there before. Let's put some, oops, That was a bit too much maybe, but that's okay. That's why we have the paper down there. All right. Close this up. Okay. And now I'll carefully guide this in. Start it off by hand, and then we'll continue with the wrench. Now, I apologize, but I don't know the exact torque spec for this bolt. You may want to look that up, but I just go by hand in this particular case. And I think we're at a good spot here, especially with the thread locker inside. I'm not worried about this coming out. Now, the sensor is in. The last thing that remains is to put our connection back. It is still protected with that food grade wrap. We'll just take this out carefully, and without touching anything, we'll just reconnect. Click, and we're now done. We have a brand new looking sensor, connection, rubber boot, everything is sealed. We have dielectric grease inside to protect the connection from corrosion, moisture, and so on. I mean, this looks beautiful. The only thing left to do now is repeat this on all 4 wheels. All right, folks, best of luck in your projects. Take care.